Today I'm starting a new bullet journal, and this is what she looks like. I feel like I'm in The Lion King, like saying, hello, meet my new friend. I've really been into yellow lately, and when I looked at this journal in particular, it just gave me such happiness and warmth and optimism, which are all things I want to be bringing with me into the rest of the year. I'll be sharing her name with you in a few minutes, don't you worry. But before diving in, I want to say a huge thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video, the easiest all-in-one platform for designing beautiful websites. If you haven't already, be sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss the Plan With Me videos I put out every single month, as well as additional productivity, organization, self-care type of content. I also send out a weekly newsletter, so if you sign up by clicking the link in the description box below, you'll not only start receiving those emails, but also receive a free PDF in your inbox containing 50 bullet journal spread ideas. And with all that being said, let's dive in, shall we? I'm starting off the very first page of this journal, the one attached to the front cover, by creating a basic dot guide. Whenever I am putting spreads together, there inevitably comes a point where I need to count the number of dots running vertically and horizontally on the page. So by having this pre-counted on the first page, I'll easily be able to reference it whenever I've got a new layout to create. You can really get elaborate with these guides, and it's probably going to be something that I add more to in the future, but for this video and for this session, I just did my most counted measurements. And as always, all of the tools you're seeing me use today, including my new journal from Archer and Olive, can be found in the description box below. At Archer and Olive, you can even get 10% off with the code Caitlin's Corner. The first official page of my new bullet journals are typically dedicated to displaying the name of the journal. And if you've been following along my channel for a while, then you know one of the things I love to do is name my bullet journals, because it's really helpful in terms of an organization perspective when I want to reference old spreads or journals, but it's also just fun. It gives me joy to give them a personality, I guess, and define each journaling era. I sometimes struggle to figure out a name, but this one came pretty quickly to me once I saw this beautiful yellow journal in person. The only part I hesitated on is the fact that it wasn't an H name, which is a theme I've been sticking to for all of my bullet journals since I've started naming them. But sometimes shaking things up can be fun, so I'd like to introduce you all to my journal Luma. Luma is a name with Latin origin that means light, so I'm sure you can now understand why the yellow journal was a huge influence on this name and why I ended up drawing a sun on this page's little name dedication. Fun fact, anytime I post a Plan With Me video, I always share a coordinating blog post on my website, CaitlinDeSilva.com, containing high quality, sexy images of all the spreads I put together so you can easily reference your favorites when you're doing some planning of your own. CaitlinDeSilva.com is proudly run on Squarespace, an all-in-one platform that has made my journey back into the blogging world this past year such an easy process. Not only do you have a wide selection of professional looking templates to choose from, no graphic designer required here, thank you very much, I'm also able to format my blog posts with slideshows for images, dividers, and clickable buttons. And I mean, I think we can all agree that there's something super satisfying about quality clickable buttons, right? So if you've ever thought to yourself, I'd love to start a website of my own, then Squarespace is ready for you to get started. You can check out squarespace.com for a free trial and use the URL squarespace.com/Caitlin's Corner to get 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. I think this next spread is one of the most creative spreads I've done in a while, and what you may be able to kind of see already by the penciled in design is that this page is inspired by crossword puzzles. One of my best friends, Maddie, who you've probably seen pop up in my vlogs and on my Instagram stories, has over the last few months become obsessed with New York Times crossword puzzles, and thus the concept of a crossword puzzle spread to emphasize words and themes that I want to prioritize for the second half of 2021 popped into my head. The crossword template itself was created online through a crossword generator, and then I just duplicated it into my journal using the black Sharpie S-Gel pen, which is one of my favorite black pens these days because of how quickly it dries. It'll be linked in the description box below. At the the bottom of the page, I added in all the hints for the puzzle that, for the purpose of this spread, are really just adding in context behind why I chose these words. So for example, 1 down is a daily habit for shifting perspective, which is gratitude. And 6 across is a 10-letter word for something I want to prioritize, which is connection. 8 down, books I want to read more of, nonfiction. I just think it's a lot of fun. And then I went in with one of my new acrylograph markers from Archer & Olive in this yellow gold color that I think is very Luma-esque, and used it to pop in some color to the title. You'll see this color show up throughout most of the spreads in this video. At the beginning of the year, I set a goal to read 100 books, which is proving to be a bit of an ambitious goal because we're heading into July, and I'm going to be honest with you, I'm only at the 40 book mark. However, I'm still keeping hope alive that I can push ahead this summer, so I decided to create this reading tracker for the remaining 60 books that I need to read in the next 6 months. Just saying that sentence is making me sweat a bit, so wish me luck. Everyone remind me in January, though, to go easy on the reading goal. Again, I'm using the Archer & Olive acrylograph markers here to bring attention to the 100 in the title and the little plant doodle on the top right page. It's dawning on me that even though I avoided using craft paper on any of these spreads for this video, this gold yellow color kind of has a craft paper look. So I really can't get away from my planner soul that seems to constantly be craving the craft these days. There's nothing too intense happening though here with the tracker itself. It's a pretty basic tracker, grid tracker, in which I'll just mark in every time I read a book. Pretty self-explanatory, I guess. I think if I hit the 80 mark this year, I'll be satisfied, especially because I'm still doing lots of other things. It's not like I'm reading 24/7, but man, do I hate setting a goal on Goodreads and not reaching it. Like that, I think is really what's making me most stressed, is I don't want to not succeed my Goodreads goal. It is so satisfying setting it as complete. If you want to follow along on my reading journey and my progress, you can follow me on Goodreads. It'll be linked in the description box below, but I usually keep it pretty up to date with what I'm currently reading and ratings for books I have read. I'm always talking about how wild it is that time seems to be flying by. It's something that I'm sure you can all relate to as well. So I thought it'd be sweet to have a little spot set aside at the beginning of this journal where I can go each month to record a memory I want to keep with me. It's a small little box for each month, so not a whole lot of room for incredible detail, but it's big enough to get the essence of the memory recorded. And let me just say, the word essence is a good one. I like saying it. And I like the vibe that it brings out when I say it. Essence. Ah. The spread itself is pretty simple, but it was looking a little too plain for my taste, so the simple addition of some quality drop shadows added quite the touch here. I feel like I've been doing a lot of pasting into my journal, so it is fun to sometimes just scale back and use something predominantly like just a black pen to bring a spread together, and I think it turned out really nice. Since this journal is named Luma and I have already drawn a sun doodle, it felt only fitting to create a spread with a moon doodle too, and the blue color from the previous page was the perfect color for the clouds, so I love how everything just kind of clicks together. However, filling in these clouds with the acrylograph marker was incredibly tedious. I've seen spreads where people color in the whole background of their page with these markers, and I've got to say kudos to them, because by the time I finished these clouds and moon, my hand was so over it. But on the plus side, I think the doodle came out beautifully, so I guess it was worth the price. And I really do like the way that these markers just provide this beautiful paint-like look that I just don't get with many of the other markers in my collection. It's really unique. Below the doodle is a blank spot for me to record quotes or affirmations that I come across and want to remember. These two pages have a strong record-keeping theme to them, and I love it when there's that link between two pages. I kept the record keeping theme going with the next page, but I ditched the doodles to give my hand a break. This page has 3 rectangles for recording media I'm loving. One for recording movies and TV shows, one dedicated towards podcasts I'm loving, and another one for songs I keep playing on repeat. Summer is here, and with the warmer weather, I get excited to do some more buzzing around Toronto, so I wanted to create a page where I can take notes of different places I want to go to. To keep the gold theme going, I used the marker again to create the Toronto title, and then I went in with my Sharpie S-Gel pen to divide the page into quarters for making note of coffee and ice cream shops I want to go to, restaurants I want to try, small businesses I want to support, and areas of the city I want to explore. I can't wait to fill it up and get adventuring, and I definitely want to try increasing the amount of vlogging I'm doing too, so I can take you guys along with me on some of these adventures. If that's something you're interested in seeing, then let me know. Now that you guys have met Luma, I'm curious to know, what is one of the first spreads that you create in a new bullet journal? And if you do name your bullet journal, what is your bullet journal's current name? I feel like Luma is going to be such an exciting era of journaling for me, so I'm excited to share spreads with you throughout the rest of the year. Also, a big thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. Don't forget to click the link in the description box below to get 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain. Like the video if you enjoyed it, hit subscribe, do all the things, and I will see you all very shortly with a new planner video.